Hey, it's Brent Smith, and I'm here with Richard Miller today, and we're here to talk to you about Personality Persuasion, which is a audio-video program that we have. And Richard, what is Personality Persuasion? It sounds like maybe like trickery or manipulation, but what is it really? Because I want you guys to understand that how powerful this program really is.
Right. So, personality persuasion was the most effective way to communicate what I think is a process that happens when you step into another person's model of the world and they feel understood. Right. So, to make a very long story short, I got into this about 15 years ago, and I found it fascinating. And I just kind of really went deep and geeked on it and realized that it was very effective. At the time, it was before was any of this dating stuff was going on. So I learned it from just the context of understanding about humans, right? And then I was able to use it into my personal relationships and business stuff. And then one day I woke up and I remember being at a hotel someplace, and I was getting checked into a hotel. This was in New Jersey, and it just emerged for me in that moment that I could use this stuff to meet a girl. And I don't remember exactly what I said to her, but I remember very clearly knowing what her personality was. And I just used a few words with her, and then I could see the light went on, and I just kind of went to my room. And then later on, I came downstairs, and this girl followed me around, gave me her number, flew out to I lived in San Diego at the time, flew out to Los Angeles, was like, come up to. I mean, it was just from a few words, literally simple words, tapping into her model of the world. And at that point in time, I realized this stuff is arguably one of the most powerful things that a person could use to attract and inspire women that they want, because a lot of times guys, and I use this metaphor, is that humans think of yourself as a camera, right? Most people think that everyone's got the same lens on, right? Personality types allows you to realize that not everybody has the same lens. People have different lenses, and allows you to kind of see through their lens, like, wow, this is how the world emerges. And then if you can talk to that person going, here's, you know what I mean, in a way that makes them realize you understand how the world occurs for them. Yeah. It is one of the most powerful, connection, rapport building things that you can have and use. And it's not about deception or manipulation. It is literally saying, hey, I understand that the world occurs for you this way, and I'm just going to step in and just have a connection with you. And again, if you tune that up with some of the, like the comedy stuff, the Silver Tongue Secrets, the combination of those two things has allowed me to, no matter what size I am, no matter how heavy I am, no matter what, to date attractive women. And guys will look like how is this possible?
Yeah.
He must have millions of dollars. He must be hung like a Brahma bull, which I'm not denying.
Not confirming nor denying that.
But I'm saying it's the combination of these two things. And so when you and I talked, I said, I've got, what do you want to teach? I said, even before we talked about the comedy, which is something I've spoken on other programs and I've got a big passion, the first thing I said is I've got to talk about personality types, because it's like magic, but it's not like some sort of cold reading thing where it's like some sort of trickery. Yes. It is science that it's 100 plus years of the highest level, human understanding. It's like Freud, Jung. I mean, they came from those guys. It came from Jung. Condensed into a system that a person can understand and use fast. And last thing I want to say about this is that this is not something you've got to spend a bunch of time learning. If you want to get the books, I mentioned a couple of the books, but it's stuff that you're already seeing right now that you don't have words for, right? It's stuff that you're already seeing that you don't understand. Okay, why does this girl do this? Why does she hold her body a certain way? Why does she speak a certain way? Why does she say these certain things and this other one doesn't? This is a glimpse inside how these worlds occur for these women, so you can go, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, powerful. And I also want to add that you've gone on and perfected this from the very first time that you found out about it or it occurred to you, and you've got it down to a science now where it's all about you occurring in their model.
Yeah.
And then them chasing you, which is how it happens now, right? So now you've turned it, and it more mimics, what I do and what we do, which is girls ask for your phone number, they chase you, they hunt you down, they're all over you all the time and so on. And I want to make sure I get this across to you guys that I do this all the time. Okay, now I may take it for granted, when we're bantering and, we're always doing different types of banter, but I'm making these decisions in a very split second. So what I take for granted now, because I've done the work with personality types and understanding these, and I'm always mentioning to you guys that there's a subtlety and a finesse to this stuff that you can learn only by practicing or watching someone do it or or experiencing the same type of woman over and over and over again, and so that you're never stuck with what to say or how to say it again.
Right.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about, guys. But what happens here is when you understand what Richard's talking about and what we're going to present to you in this program, you will then understand and have a clearer connection with how someone like me and my brain works instantaneously. It's automatic. So I'm filtering for all of this, and I don't even know I'm doing it anymore because it's so ingrained, because I understand this. So I am filtering for what type of banter I will use in a particular situation. But I'm not spending 15 minutes thinking about it. Okay, I wonder how I should talk to this girl. I wonder how I should talk to the person behind, the counter to have this happen, to get an upgrade. Telling you guys, it's condensed down into autopilot because I understand, and because there are not infinite possibilities. It's like I tell you guys about, there are only a certain amount of conversations that humans will have. And once you've been in those conversations thousands of times, you will never be stuck, because they all say the same thing. They say a version of the same thing. That's what this is. Once you meet the types of women and personality types that there are, you will know them, and that's it. It's not hard. It's not something that is difficult, or you have to memorize all this stuff. Again, you can look into it. In the past, me, Rick, and all my inner circle friends had a fascination with this for years. We're very scientific, as I've stated, and we broke things down, and we loved doing this. It was a passion of ours. It wasn't something we found to be a job or hard or whatever. We went into this, and we understood this, and we experimented with this, and that's why one of the reasons that what I do seems so effortless in my friends and my very successful clients and you, and because it is effortless, because we already understand. It's like we're playing with it's like we have a crystal ball, in a good way. And again, because we're being someone who understands women to bring out the best in the women. Okay, it's not to get something. I just want to be very clear on that, in case you guys are wondering, and it's to inspire them. So, we're and again, we're just doing it on the fly now. We're being it in every moment. It's so powerful, and so you're going to learn this in this program. Okay, so basically, if you want to just whittle it down to what it actually is, it's personality types of women. What are those personality types, and how do things occur for each personality type? What do they react to? How do they react? Which goes a lot further than just hooking up and meeting girls and stuff. It goes into long-term relationships. It goes into relationships with people in your life, because once you understand why someone is the way that they are, okay, even though you might cause a state change because your reality is stronger, many of your realities aren't that strong yet. So this is even more important for you. You will have to deal with people in the way where they are right now. They are not self-developed. So you will need to understand that, and this will help you not take things personally. This will help you be carefree and unattached to the outcome. Because you'll understand that she's not doing it to be devious or to get back at you, or because she's mean, or because she doesn't like you. She's doing it because that's her personality type.
And I have to say,
programmed.
I have to interrupt you. And here's this, so here's another kind of benefit of this whole thing, right? Which is, we walk around with this. We're all told, as children, we're all special. We're all unique individuals. We're all, and so when we meet which, that's great. There's value to that, right? But when we meet women, we sometimes when we're attracted to them, we think there's nobody else like this girl. And then she goes on the pedestal,
That's right. We covet
when you realize the different personality types, of course, everybody has their own inherent uniqueness. But the macro information of her identity and who she is, you realize that's not just unique to her. So the fear of loss goes way down with this stuff, because it's like, look, if that makes any sense. So there's a calming that comes over you, because it's like you realize there's that 80% or 85% of who she is comes from kind of the operating system of this temperament. That last 10 or 15%, great. There's no fear of loss anymore, if that makes any sense. Right?
Totally.
So because you get the game, you understand how the world occurs, and it's really, it's awesome.
It's very powerful, guys, in this next level. But having said that, it's also very easy to understand. As you know, I always break things down and make it easy for everyone to to understand and to apply in your life. And so in this program, we're going to teach you all of that. We're going to break into all the personality types. We're going to tell you how things occur for each personality type. We're going to walk you through it. So it's a very exciting program. It's something that I suggest that you pick it up immediately, because it's going to be a baseline for how you go through your life. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, and again, I give you, you can take this as deep as you want to take it, but just the program in and of itself will allow you to have words and explanations for things that you're already recognizing. It'll give you more power in the world to just get what you want. That's it.
Well, and it's really gonna help other people get what they want too. And I think that's, and like, it's inspiring. It's about bringing things out in people. So if you truly want to be a cause and you want to help people bring out the best in themselves, and women bring out the best in themselves, which of course happens to benefit you as well, then I encourage you to pick up this program. So pick up the program, watch it a bunch of times, and that's all we have to say about it right now.
That's it.